Hey, this is David B69, and we are at part 4 of our tournament for Out of the Park Baseball 17. Unbelievable that we've reached the second round. Um, this should be very interesting. We're going to hit our first bracket of the second round for this video. Um, I'm recording this on Monday, which is a day before the release. They had a patch. Basically, they're still calling it a beta at this stage. It's beta build 31, and there was a lot of fixes that they threw in there. That wasn't what I wanted to show up. Basically, what they popped up was they fixed these issues. Um, so, anyways, but this is. I mean, this is one of those things where you get something early. They're still doing little patches. So just basically wanted to mention that and everything as I'm broadcasting. So, anyways, let's see here. I wanted to start their new thing here. Here's the bracket, or for our first thing here. As you can see, those teams that didn't exist. We're gonna hit the 06 Cubs against the 64 Giants. One of the first games we're going to be seeing. So let's get to it. I mean, the Cubs are the #1 seed of this tournament. So the Cubs should easily, easily win this whole thing. Sorry about that. My wife and everything was texting me at the same time I was trying to do this. So it's hard to sometimes to keep my mind on it. Okay, so we're at the 64 Giants. We're at the right appropriate thing. I just wish they'd loop them all together. I mean, I don't mind having a long list of teams. Let's see. San Francisco Giants. See the Chicago Cubs, 116 wins. So again, we're continuing going to use the default monitor as the time period here. You do have selections of using the 06 settings or the things. I'm trying to think if I want to use the home, whoever has the better record as the settings that we should use. I'm kind of thinking we should, but I'm just going to go default monitor. Because I did that for the first round. Wow! 64 Cubs, the guy, and the 06 Cubs got killed. I was not expecting that. Okay, Jim Ray Hart of the Giants is out. He's the third baseman. They have no other third baseman, so I'll throw in the shortstop as a replacement. But again, the Giants killed the Cubs. This is like a huge upset. Okay, here we go. The Cubs beats the Giants 2-0. Marshall's back on the thing against Brown. We'll see what happens here. Giants beat them up again, but this time it was a lot lower score. It's 3-2. So Giants actually could come off with a huge upset. And they do. It's over. Unbelievable that the 64 Giants would beat the Cubs in 5 games. I never saw that one coming. I thought the Cubs would be a lot better, but, well, like today's Cubs, they're just not really that good. So they are out of it. So we are busy to update the standings here, and the Giants are in, and the Cubs are out of it. So Willie Mays is the MVP in the series. Let's see. What did Willie Mays do? Willie Mays, wow. 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. I mean, you could have easily just given it to Harvey Kuhn as well. He had 471. I mean, these guys just dominated. And the pitching was incredible. It's like Bob Shaw was the only one that actually had a bad series for the Giants. That is just unbelievable. And you would think that the Cubs pitching would be a lot better, but it just really just got hammered. So that's why we play these games, because we want to know who's the best. And sometimes who you think is the better team is really not. Okay, next we got the it's going to be the 2000 White Sox. So we're sticking with that Chicago theme here. And as White Sox are going to get to go another old-time team, which this time we're going to go with the 1904 Red Sox. Again, it's whoever's home is the team that should have the advantage. Red Sox. Oh, it's the Boston Americans. My bad. I'm gonna have to up that here. That's the 7. Create. Here we go. Boston has Cy Young on the mound. I mean, it's like you see the totals for the pitchers. It's like they have 5 pitchers to go the entire series. Good luck with that. Let's see what happens. And there's Cy Young winning the game 3-1. Ooh, the White Sox won the second game, so it's a 1-1 series. Ray Durham had hamstring tendonitis, out 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. White Sox are leading 3-1. And we have another upset. Unbelievable. Now, it does make me think that if we changed the era, would this series have gone much different? I mean, that's the thing that gets you thinking. But I've said it where it's the default era. I really don't want to change it because it basically changes it changes the whole philosophy on this. So I don't want to really change it. Now, if people come to say me and everything, well, maybe you should change that in the 3rd round. We should change it. I'll listen to what the people want. But at that point and everything, those teams might be all gone. "2012 Orioles." And your 2012 Orioles are facing the 1962 Reds. Know nothing about this Reds team. Do love their character and stuff and everything from that era. Here goes the beginning. And the 2012 Orioles hammered the Reds. And it's time the Reds hammered the Orioles. This could be a little interesting. 62 Reds come back. 62 Reds again. And we have an injury. '62 Reds lead 3-2, and the '62 Reds take the series 4-2. Frank Robinson is the MVP of the series. 540. It's 545 in the series. That is amazing. So the Reds advanced, and they're up 4-2. Okay, here we go. The next thing is, let's see here, the 1976 Dodgers against the 1911 Giants. Ooh, we might finally have a team and everything from the early 1900s that actually might be able to battle against these teams. Ah, there we go then again. There we go again. So, wow. Giants have some punch to their lineup. 1911 Giants have a 3-1 lead, and it's over. 1911 Giants win 4-1 against the 76 Dodgers. Now, the interesting thing is the 76 Dodgers and stuff were the same Dodgers that winded up beating the Phillies in the playoffs, and the Phillies were just like a much better team on paper. So that was what was interesting. So let's go to the next one. And I'm not going to go through details of every single series unless somebody asks me, say, "Hey, can we go? I'd like to see more details of things." I mean, there's so many games, so many series. I mean, overall, and if you think about it, I mean, 532 teams. That makes 531 games. You have to eliminate every single team. Um, So it's just a matter of it takes a long time. So anyway, here we go. The 1932 Twins. Actually, I don't think 32 Twins existed. Um, yeah, it was the Washington Senators, and there was a lot of errors and stuff and everything when I was making these things and stuff. The 1932 Senators. Ah, love this thing. Let's see, 32 Senators against the 1966 Orioles. Is that right? 1966 Orioles, yeah. My problem is it's like it went through and everything when I did this default list of how I was creating and grabbing all these teams. A lot of it was getting information, pulling it all up, and using some other people's data from a baseball encyclopedia. It was basically franchise information, and it wasn't perfectly clear. So sometimes you have to walk through and you have to look a little closer to certain things. So there's only so many teams that had 90 wins during those years, so it's not too hard to figure out which was what. So the series tied at 2. And we're going to go to Game 7. Here we go. Now, when we get to the championship game, we're actually going to broadcast every single game with detail. We're gonna. It's like you'll actually see every game run through the series. I might just do that. I might do that with the Final Four. I'm not 100% sure yet. So. But anyways, the 61 Orioles ended up beating the Washington Senators 4-3. It was a heck of a series. But it was a good series. So. Okay, now we got the 1931 Cardinals. And they will face off against the 1912 Cubs. Yes, the Cubs. Bet you never would have thought in anything that we'd have heard the Cubs name so often. But look at this, the Cleveland Naps. Gotta love that. Has a great name. The Cleveland, I want to take a nap. Naps. I mean, it's perfect for the franchise. I mean, it's a sleeping franchise. They should go back to that name. I mean, I know nothing about either one of these teams. I mean, I'm sure if I looked closely, I might see a name that I might know, but no, I don't think so. These are the games that are interesting because you just have no idea who they are. I just assumed that the 1906 Cubs would actually just totally went out this whole thing. And Cincinnati wins the series 4-3. George Suggs was the MVP for the Reds. George Suggs was the pitcher. And let's see what happened here in the series. He went 2-0 with a .5 ERA. That's how I'm saying that. That's how you know somebody deserved. That was like, that's really good. That's dominant. I mean, 2 complete games. that's awesome. So that's exactly how the game should be done. I mean, that's perfect. He was the game 2 starter and game 5 starter. So, okay. If they didn't have him, they would not want to. They would not win in the series. So, okay, here we go. This time we're going to go with the 1963 White Sox. Looks like the Chicago White Sox, the baseball player, passed it on top of it. That's why I giggled. The 25 Senators. Look at the Senators. Ooh, the Senators could sweep here. And they do! Senators beat the 63 White Sox in 4 straight games. That's pretty much as dominant as you can get. I mean, they let up a total of 8 runs in the series. That's great. So, Senators just dominated. The White Sox didn't even show up to play. Let's see here. What do you do to get that MVP? Joe Harris. Yeah, hit 438, home run, 5 RBIs. We're going to go with a new modern day game here, and this is the last game for the second round of the South bracket. In this one, we're going to have the 1987 and it's the Milwaukee Brewers with, I think, Paul Mahler, I think, it's on that team, against the Atlanta Braves, which was the National League West Atlanta Braves. I believe it was the last time the National League West had the Braves on them. It was, I think, after this point and everything, they split up into 3 divisions. But it's like the Phillies, like, pretty much battled the Braves and stuff as hard as they could, and they actually beat them. But it was an incredible series. I was at game 1 of that playoff series, and it was emotional after that. It was really, really a tough series because you know how tough they are. There's Paul Mahler. I thought he was a third baseman. I guess he was a second baseman earlier in his career, where they moved him to there and everything because of his arm, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know everything about Paul Molitor. Braves won the first game, 2-1. That's the thing with Atlanta. They had dominant pitching. There goes 9-8. Dominant pitching. That was really dominant, Atlanta. Mirabella is out. Oh, that's painful. So it's a relief pitcher. And yeah, I'm just going to give you a starter as a thing. They'll just make him pitch relief because he's not going to start. So yeah, there we go. Milwaukee comes back in the next 2 games in Milwaukee. So basically, it's whoever's been home field so far. Milwaukee savors home field. They really they held on, and they're actually right in it. Milwaukee can win it right here. And they do. So it's the reverse sweep. We've seen this several times where you actually will reverse sweep a team. That is actually quite shocking. And here we go. We got something busted. Okay, the 87 Brewers, they won the series. We have no MVP. We literally have no MVP in this series. So I'm going to give the MVP. I would give it to Mazio. He was 2-0, 1.5 ERA. I mean, yeah. Not sure who else you would go with. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, it's like, I guess Greg Brock would be a close second. But, yeah, that's sometimes where you get the, where it's not a full version yet. But that's definitely a bug. It should have an MVP there. And they don't have one. Let's quickly look here. I want to show you here that the you see that the third round we're going to have Giants against the White Sox, Reds against the Giants, Orioles against the Cardinals, and the Senators against the Brewers. That's going to be an interesting one. So let's go to the West, where the West was won. Okay, here's the this will be the first team from our made it from the other round, the first round, the 2012 Rays. The thing about the 2012 Rays is they had a really good pitching. Not sure how they're going to react to, their bats are going to react to old time pitching though. The 42 Cardinals should feel pretty solid that the Cardinals would win this. I'd have a hard time believing otherwise. And David Price is dominant again. Ben Zobrist is mild shoulder strain. He's out 2 weeks. They lost their second baseman. And the Cardinals jump all over them. And Cardinals have them on the fence. And it's over. It's over. I mean, it's like David Price wasn't able to pitch back-to-back gems, and the Cardinals just were able to step it up. So, congratulations to the 42 Cardinals. They win the series 4-1. So there's our first round series. I mean, it's like you have to play the first round. It's just not an automatic for you to continue on just because you have a semi-good record, or you can battle against some other teams. There's definitely something to be said about my rankings and how I had them set. Though I keep on talking to myself about those 06 Cubs. This is going to be the 65 White Sox against the 1914 Braves. Where are they, Braves? Yeah, Boston Braves. Here we are. Yes, they were in Boston. They were in Boston. They were in Milwaukee, and then they get to Atlanta. Don't think they went anywhere else. I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't expecting the Boston Braves to dominate, but they swept. I mean, I knew nothing about the 65 White Sox, but I was not anticipating a sweep from the Braves. I mean, it separated these teams and stuff. I had separated my rankings by like 32 games, so it's not a huge upset, but it was kind of shocking to see a team get dominated like that. I wasn't expecting that. Our next series will be the 1939. 39 who? 39 Cardinals, because we like the Cardinals. Cardinals have had a lot of good teams, to be fair. There was just a lot of good teams against the 2004 Red Sox. I think this is the Red Sox. Yeah, this is the team that won the World Series against the Cardinals in 2004. I believe this was the team where they were able to come back. This was they came back and everything. The 3-0 deficit against the Yankees. Let's see what they can do against this Cardinal team. Okay, here we go. And the Cardinals beat the Red Sox 5-3 in Game 1. Game 2. Poor Curt Schilling. Curt Schilling and everything it's like Mr. Historian, and the historians are not giving him a good fate here. Okay, here we go. I mean, Boston's doing what they did back then, and they're battling back no matter what. Curt Schilling puts up a strong performance here. Let's see, what did he do in this game? It was 15-0. Curt Schilling, 8 1/3 innings. Let's get back. Game 7. And the Red Sox beat the Cardinals 3-2. And 3-2 in 7 games, they win the series. In a run in the bottom of the 8th inning. Wow. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Pedro Martinez had a good game, but they still worried about it. And Timley got the win, and Falk got the save. So, wow. Nina Slaughter from the 39 Cardinals ended up winning the MVP. Hit 481, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. So, yeah. But anyway, so the Red Sox, they're still going on. They're still going to be a happy team. Next up, we're going to have the 2011 Diamondbacks against the 1908 Pirates. There's the Pirates winning 9-6. Yeah, it doesn't look good for Arizona. Pittsburgh's been pretty much dominating this series so far. And it's over. Pittsburgh just wins it in 4 games. I wasn't thinking the Diamondbacks were going to be able to do anything there anyway, and it was pretty much accurate. So, I mean, this is pretty much like I was thinking with the 06 Cubs. I just assumed the Pirates would win. I have another assumption in this series. I am darn sure that the 72 Athletics are going to win this series, even though that they're the underdog. I think this 06 Athletic team, no, what was it? 72 Athletics team will beat A lot of people are going to be mad at me. They're going to be really, really mad at me. They say they're going to beat the 1986 Mets. They're going to be like, how dare you? The 86 Mets were great. And they were a good team. They were really good. Matter of fact, they're ranked 177th. I mean, you have 108 wins, and you're ranked 177th. But there was so many good players on the A's team back then, and it was like so many. It was such a more competitive series here. I mean, you got Catfish Hunter, Ken Holtzman, Blue Moon. I just don't see the Mets being able to do it. But let's see what happens. That's exactly what I thought would happen. Whoa, Mets are battling back. Wow, Mets just destroyed them there. That was a shocker. And Mets do it again. And the Mets win the series. Mookie Wilson, MVP. Well, there you go. I'm eating a little crow here. Eating a little crow. Mookie Wilson hit 471 in the series. Yeah, can't argue that one. Oops! I picked the wrong teams. It was the 2006 Mets that I was supposed to choose. So I saw 6 at the end in Mets, and I just assumed that I was talking about that. So we're gonna have to redo this here. A's get another day. That's an embarrassment. I selected the wrong team. I even mean it more now because those 6 Mets don't belong in the same stratosphere. Okay, maybe Oakland doesn't deserve any respect. And we're going to Game 7. After all this thing of me saying they're not getting a respect or anything, they come in the last 2 games and win the games 8-1 and 11-3. They're coming back with a vengeance. Their pitcher hit a home run here. And they come back to beat the 2006 Mets. Wow. They win 4-0. Tom Glavine won the first 2 times he pitched and lost in Game 7. That is amazing. That's just awesome. I mean, poor Tom Glavine, 2-1, but he had a 1.64 ERA. How did this happen? Wow. He let up 1 earned run. And that was probably their run in the 5th inning. I would say probably the 3 other runs and stuff were unearned due to an error. But that is absolutely amazing. So there you go. So the A's are in after the A's were out. So there you go. Next up, we got the 1956 Reds. The Red Legs. Can you make that up? It's right there in front of you. It's 1917 White Sox. I don't know who I like in the series. I think I'll go with Chicago. And I made the right decision. Chicago dominated. They'd up 2 runs the entire series. Wow. Wow, Chicago. I think it was, when was the Black Sox scandal and everything? Wasn't that 1919? There's Shoeless Joe Jackson. He had 301 that year. And he had 438 during the series. Yeah, it's just, they had so much talent. I don't even understand them doing what they did. Next up, we got the 2012 A's. Against the 1992 Pirates. Sometimes you just have a cat that wants to be on TV. That's this cat. This cat just wants the attention of the world. And that's the way he is sometimes. Never argue with the kitty cat. Kitty cat wins every time. Okay, cat, get down. Pirates win game 1. Oakland comes right back. I had no guesses on who was going to win. I would guess Pittsburgh would, but there you go. Oakland wins the series 4-2. I had no idea who would actually win it, but Josh Donaldson gets the MVP. This looks like this was a fun game. Lots of home runs. And our last one for this episode is basically the first round and the end of the West bracket. It will be the 2011 Tampa Bay Rays against the 1936 Yankees. I think it was I think this is the first one with the Yankees in it. And it's Ruth is gone here, so there is no Babe Ruth. So you got Lou. They still have to deal with Lou Gehrig, but I don't know. I say the Yankees should be able to hold them. Wow. Tampa Bay steps it up in the first game, and again in the second game. Yankees come back in game 3, and in game 4. So road teams all the way here. Joe DiMaggio. Wow. I thought Joe DiMaggio was a 50s player. Tampa Bay takes game 5, has a lead. And Tampa Bay wins the series. Wow. Desmond Jennings gets the MVP, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Joe DiMaggio only hit 231, and Lou Gehrig only was citizen-like at 261. So they pretty much handled them. So the Tampa Bay Rays takes it. So for the West Coast, and for the West Division here, we're going to have the Cardinals against the Braves, Red Sox against the Pirates, A's against the White Sox, and A's against the Rays. So it's possible in the 4th round that we're going to have a White Sox clash. So that is possible. So anyways, I'm going to leave you at that. And until next episode, this is David B69. Please like and subscribe. And let me know of any other stuff that you guys like to see. For my console games, I'm basically just publishing the last copy of my series. Well, last before the 2016 MLB the 16 show comes out next Tuesday. I'll be doing a live stream on Twitch or YouTube at midnight. So keep an eye out for that. This is until then. This is David B69, and I'm out.